Hi, this is Mrs. Clark and welcome to my video. I'm going to review all different types of equations, solving equations. This is just a mixed review of one-step, two-step, and multi-step equations. So just a reminder, when we're doing any type of equation, even though we started with one and two-step and then got to those more difficult multi-step, we should be focusing on that flow chart. We should be focusing on this flow chart that we have been using to do all of these problems. So the first step of distributive property, then combining like terms, then moving terms to one side, those may or may not happen. If I've only got a one or a two-step problem, I might start here at step number 3, or if it's a one-step, I may start here at step number 4, either one of these. So keep this in mind and use this as we go through these problems together and as you go through the ones that you are to do independently. I'm going to do the circled ones on the worksheet, and you can feel free to do the rest on your own and then check the answer sheet to see if you're doing them correctly. All right, so our first question is negative 15 equals b minus 14. Very simple problem, just starting out with the basics, trying to get the b by itself and isolate the variable. So I focus on the side of the equation with the b. It says b subtract 14. So I know the inverse operation of subtract is to add, so I'm going to add 14 so that that 14 cancels out. If I add it to the right side of the equation, I have to remember to add it to the left side of the equation to keep them balanced. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, negative 15 plus 14. I'm going to do that in my calculator. Negative 15 plus 14 equals negative 1. So I'm going to make this a negative 1 equals b, and these are going to cancel out. So the variable is isolated. My equation is solved. This was a simple one step. B is equal to negative 1. That is my solution. On to number 2. Number 2 is x plus 20 equals 35. This is very similar to the one we just did. I focus on the side that has the x, and what's happening to the x is they're adding 20. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 20. Do it on both sides to keep them balanced. Rewrite my equation. X, these are going to cancel out, equals 35 minus 20. 35 minus 20 is 15, so x equals 15. The variable is again isolated. That is my solution. Anytime I get one x or just x, I know I'm finished because there's no coefficient other than 1 in front of the x. Moving on to number 4. X divided by 18 equals negative 4. So I look on the side with the x. What's happening to the x is they're dividing by 18. So I need to do the inverse of division. The inverse of division is multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 18 on both sides. Multiplying by 18 here cancels out this division of 18, so these are going to cancel out, and I have just x by itself. Again, I've isolated my variable to get it alone. On this side, I'm going to do negative 4 times 18, and I get negative 72. So x equals negative 72. That was number 5, not number 4. Number 6. Negative 280 equals 14n. Here's my variable. What's happening to the variable? They're multiplying it by 14. Anytime I have a number in front of the variable like that, that means to multiply. I know to undo multiplication, I do the inverse operation, which is division. So I'm going to divide by 14 to make that 1n. So if I divide on the right side by 14, I have to divide on the left side by 14. So negative 280 divided by 14 equals negative 20. So negative 20 is equal to 1n. This is the same thing as n. Sometimes we write the 1 in front, sometimes we don't. I can rewrite this as just n equals negative 20, and that would be my solution. So anytime I get the variable down to just n or the 1 in front of the n, that is isolating the variable, and that means my solution is on the other side of the equal sign. So you can feel free to go ahead and do the rest of the problems up through number 12 on your own, and then come back to the video, or you can go through the video with me now and finish out the rest of the circled problems. So number 13 is the next one I'm going to do. N over 6 minus 1 equals negative 2. So focusing on my side with the n, what's happening to n? They're dividing by 6, then they're subtracting 1. So I need to focus on the constant term that's over here, which is my negative 1. I need to do the inverse of negative 1, which is adding 1. And I need to rewrite my equation. N minus 6 comes down, equals, because these cancel out, negative 2 plus 1 equals negative 1. The n is not isolated, the variable is not by itself yet. I have this division by 6. We know the division, you can do the inverse multiplication to get rid of it. So I'm going to multiply by 6 on both sides. Whatever they're dividing by, I multiply by that same number to cancel it out. And I just get n equals, on this side, and do negative 1 times 6. Negative 1 times 6 equals negative 6. So n equals negative 6 is my solution, and I'm done with that one. Number 14. 7 plus b divided by 2 equals 2. So this one's a little bit different. You'll notice that the division is bigger. It goes underneath the b and the 7. So they are together being divided by 2. Over here, the division was just on the variable, so I could move this constant term first. Right now, this constant term is stuck inside this division. So I can't do anything with the 7 until I get rid of divided by 2. But we know the inverse of dividing by 2 is to multiply by 2, so when I do that here, it cancels out our denominator. And I'm left with 7 plus b. If I did it multiply by 2 on the left side, I need to multiply by 2 on the right side. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 7 plus b equals 4. To get the b alone, I'm going to focus on this number. It's a positive 7 because there's no sign in front of it. That means I'm going to have to subtract 7 to make 0, to make that cancel out. Subtract 7 on this side to keep it balanced. b equals 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. So b equals negative 3 is our solution. Got 2 more to do on this page. Next is number 15. Negative 35 equals negative 7 parentheses a minus 7. So until now, I have been using this pink flowchart. I've been really doing just hanging around in these steps 3 and 4, undoing addition and subtraction, undoing multiplication and division. But when I get to number 15, this is the first time I see parentheses. So I'm going to start back up here at number 1. Use the distributive property to remove parentheses on each side of the equal sign. I only have parentheses over here, so I only need to just focus on that. For now, I'm not going to do anything with this negative 35. I'm just going to bring it down. So when I go to rewrite my equation after I distribute, I'll already have negative 35 equals, and now I'm going to distribute. It's this negative 7 that's going to get multiplied. Distribute means to multiply. I've got to do negative 7 times a, and I also have to do negative 7 times negative 7. So I have 2 different multiplications that I need to do. So again, negative 35, I'm not doing anything with that yet. Negative 7 times a is negative 7a. Negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49, so I get a plus 49 here. This step I've kind of been doing in my head until now, but I want to just show you it out on paper so you could see where these come from. If you need to write that out, then go ahead and do it. If you can do it without and get the correct answer, be my guest and not write this step. So that step is okay to skip, that first one. Now, when I look at this looks a lot like the problems we were just doing. It's a simple 2-step. So again, I focus where the variable is. I look to undo my addition and subtraction first, which is plus 49, so I'm going to subtract 49 on both sides of the equation. I'm going to do negative 35 minus 49. I get negative 84. Negative 84 equals negative 7a, and these cancel out. So now I'm going to look to undo my multiplication or division. So that coefficient in front of the variable, I need to get rid of it so I can isolate my variable. So this is being attached by multiplication. We know that because up here we multiplied to get it. So to undo multiplication here, I need to divide. I'm going to divide, if it's multiplying by -7, I'm going to divide by -7. I'm going to do that on both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. So -84 divided by -7, it's going to be +12. And that's going to be equal to 1a or just a. So a equals 12. Number 18. -9a minus 10 equals -109. So this time, no parentheses, so I can skip step 1. No like terms to combine, so I can skip step 2. Come down here. Step 2b, move terms to one side. I've got all my a's together, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I need to focus on the constant. So find the variable, a. The constant with it is -10, so I'm going to add 10 to both sides. So I work to start getting that a by itself. -9a equals -109 plus 10, which is -99. -9 times a, I want to undo that by dividing by -9. So I get 1a, or a equals -99 divided by -9 is 11. A equals 11 is my solution. So you can go ahead and do all of the problems up to number 21. You might even be able to do a couple after that. But that'll be in the second part of this video. So this is part 1. Do all the problems that you can do up to 21, and then come back and I'll go through the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems, and then you should be able to do the rest on your own. Thank you.